Welcome back to Scale Modelling. This is part 7 of Revell's Star Trek USS Voyager, the Intrepid class. Scale is 1 to 677. In this part, I'm going to be carrying on where I left off with the rear part of the hull, the shuttle bay. And I'm going to be doing some additional work to the shuttle bay itself. So let's jump into this and see how well I get on. So as I said, I'm going to be adding some additional work. I've decided to build in a shuttle bay. Now, because this is an afterthought and I haven't planned for this, it's not going to be lit up as it should be. And it's just going to be a rudimentary shuttle bay. So where I'm placing the markings in now is going to be the actual bay area itself. I'm then taking some strips of plastic card and just cutting them to length. Now I'm going to need 4 of these, one for the sidewall and one for the upper part of the sidewall, as in the platform. On the kit itself, you can have the shuttle bay doors open or closed. Because I'm going to be using them open, I'm going to be using the wall parts for this. Now it's only a very small part to see inside the bay, but this is what I want to carry on down the area that I marked out. So first of all, I'm going to be cementing the part that comes with the kit onto the plastic card strip. Once that's done, I'm just cutting out some very thin strips of plastic card to give the wall some texture. Once they're cut, I'm placing them on the plastic card, and the idea is to have them looking like panels. Next is to add the top part, the platform, and this just goes on the top at a 45-degree angle. And then another thinner strip of plastic card goes along that edge, that raw edge where the upright to the platform is. On the floor, I want to add texture as well. So I'm simply drawing a grid pattern on the base or the floor. As you can see there, it's just a lot of squares. Then I'm using my pen drive just to mark the intersection between each square, so at the cross points. I'm not drilling all the way in, only about halfway, just to mark the floor area. Once I've primed the part, I'm using Revell Aquacolor 91 Steel as the base colour. And I'm also using the same colour for the floor. Now I don't want the pencil markings to be erased, so I'm leaving them on and I want them to come through slightly. I'm then using Revell Aquacolor 57 Grey for the highlighted colour. So the raised areas that I placed on, these are going to have this colour. And I'm going to offset that with Revell Aquacolor 314 Beige. So it's just adding the highlights to the raised areas and giving it shade and shadow. The kit comes with a little shuttlecraft. So for the base colour, I'm using Revell Aquacolor 371 Light Grey. And while that was drying, I'm going back to the shuttle bay and I'm marking out the lines for the part of the bay that's exposed. So it's just a simple case of marking out with masking tape a little grid pattern. And then I'm using the base colour again, the 91 Steel, to overpaint on the tape. Now this is just to stop any paint bleed when I put the main colour down. And once that's dry, I'm using Revell Aquacolor 301 White Silk for the main bar colour. And it's just painted all over so that the bars will appear once the tape comes off. And because I've used the base colour, any paint bleed will be eliminated. It's back to the shuttlecraft, and I'm using Revell Aquacolor also in black gloss, and this is for the windows. The secondary colour on the shuttlecraft is Revell Aquacolor 378 Dark Grey, and this is painted only on selected panels of the shuttlecraft. Then it's Revell Aquacolor 50 Light Blue, and this is for the nacelles, so the what part of the nacelles, and it's just a tiny little bar of this colour along the actual nacelle itself. Next I'm using Revell Aquacolor 76 Light Grey, and this is for the little grid that goes between the nacelle for the buzzard collector and the warp nacelle. And then finally, it's Revell color 3305 red for the buzzard collectors. Now there is registry decals that can go onto this shuttlecraft if you wish, but because I'm placing it inside the bay, you're really not going to see them, so I'm not going to put them on. I'm just concentrating on the painting. So the part may be small, but it turns out quite nicely once it's all painted. So it's back to the bay and the paint's dry now, so I can take away the masking tape to reveal the white bars. And now I can start building the bay. So first of all is the part that comes with the open shuttle bay doors, and that goes into its own little place. It's quite a nice fit so far. Now, if I've got my fittings right, this should just slot in beside it. The part that comes with the kit helps with the alignment of this. It should just run in behind the lip of the bay itself. And obviously it's the same with the opposite wall. So once they're in, I'm just going to check alignment, make sure it's alright. If we just tip it up there, you can see it there. I think it looks okay. It's not the best shuttle bay, to be fair, but it is just a rudimentary thing, just something to look at if I have the doors open. And then the shuttlecraft will just pop in there when I'm ready to put it in. So I'm turning my attention back to the main saucer section here, and what I'm doing is I'm just putting a little bit of super glue down, and then I'm attaching some masking tape. And then what I'm doing this for is to cover up the windows to diffuse the light that's going to come through. So it's not a bright glaring white light. This will just help calm everything down. It also has the added bonus of being able to black out any windows that I wish. But before I get onto that, I'm just going to do a light test to make sure that the light coming through is going to be quite good. And I'm just going to use my phone for this, so you can see the light is still going to come through quite well. And similar to what I did with the shuttle bay area, I'm using some sweet wrappers, the cellophane sweet wrapper. This one's a yellowish colour, and I'm placing this over some of the windows that are near the bridge just to define that area. So, and again, so it's going to diffuse any light coming through. Now, because I'm not placing any lights directly in front of these panels, the light colour will change to that yellowy golden colour. If I put the lights right up against it, then the raw light colour would just come through no matter what colour cellophane I place on here. So that's something to bear in mind if you're doing something like that. It's also an easy way to change colour lighting if you don't want to add lots of different colour diodes and LEDs. You can also paint the LED as well, but I don't recommend that too much because that can lead to other issues. So anyway, now that all the tape is on, it's time to think about putting the two halves together. So first of all, I have scraped away any excess paint on the contact points before placing on the cement. Now how I approach this is that I leave certain parts uncemented and put the cement on the adjacent part. That way I can handle it in the different areas before cementing it. And a little bit of thing on the cement I'm using. I'm using contractor cement, which is a purpose-built cement for plastic model kits. Some people use super glue and other glues. To me, that's a mistake. It should always be the cement designed for these plastic model kits. And the reason for that is it welds plastic together. It basically melts it, and when it dries, it's all welded together. And this gives you a very strong bond. If you're using something like super glue, you get the instant bond, but it will not hold over time. Because plastic on plastic with super glue, whatever the science behind it is, I don't know, but it doesn't hold that particularly well and can break open. That's why people start using frames and everything for structure to make it stronger. You shouldn't really need to do that if you use the proper cement. So as you can see here, I'm just clamping up. Now this is going to take quite a lot of clamps, but that's a necessary process. Make sure you've got enough clamps, and It's better to put too many on and not enough. Put them all around the same line and leave it to dry at least overnight if you possibly can before you move on to the next part. But that's not mean to say you don't have to just leave it and do nothing. Of course, this is a good time as well to make sure that all your lights and everything like that is working as well. Because obviously you can easily take it apart at this point if you've run into a bit of problem. So all that's left to do for this part is to do the light test. And this is just a rudimentary test just to make sure the lights are working now after putting things together and having a quick glance to see if there's any light bleed, which there's bound to be some. And those light bleeds, they'll be fixed later on in the build. It shouldn't be too much of a problem. So as I said, this will end part 7. So if you haven't done so already, why don't you go over to the channel and check out my other builds. And subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't done so. If you do, make sure you hit the notification bell. That way you'll be kept up to date not only with this build, but all my future builds as well. Hit the like button. Don't be afraid to leave a comment, and of course you can share the video. But for now, thank you all very much for watching. Bye bye.